Watch me going out of the way when I should've went home. Only time of the day I get to spend on my own. I was tripping off, I used to sleep at your crib. Should drive out right where you live and pick you up on the way. We ain't spoken so long, probably put me in the past. I can still get you wet and I can still make you laugh. You should call into work if that ain't too much to ask. I could pour you up a drink or we could burn.
I don't even know how we starting this off. Just want to start off by saying fuck bedside nursing.
Over it.
Dang, I was supposed to write like a dialogue, but we just left brunch and the mimosas then kicked in a little bit. I don't even know where to start. We got fired, y'all. Let's start there. Let's start there. All three of us.
Oh my god.
All three of us.
First time for everything.
Right, got fired from. So this was already going to be our last assignment. We was on what week? It was like week 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 out of 8 weeks, and I had 4 call-offs. How many call-offs you had, Sandra? 3.
With 3 and
3.5. 3.5.
No.
How many did you have?
Wasn't
you like up there?
Yeah, she was up
You
there.
had 6?
Maybe. Well, I had my note. I had
But before the note, before the note though, cause you had
It was
the
probably like 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and technically in the contract it said 1.
1, yeah.
But every contract I feel like I've called off more than once and they never did nothing. I mean, this I guess was the. No, I'm not gonna lie. When I was working my first contract, I called off probably like 4 or 5 times.
I feel like saying. Right, don't mention it. Don't mention it.
But that
we
one,
caught off a lot too.
yeah, that week it was a winter.
Bad winter.
Yeah, it was a winter storm, so we had to commute like an hour to work, and it was a really bad ice storm. So we had to call off like 3 times that week. Y'all might have did it twice. I know I did 3 that week. I was like, yeah, no, because
oh yeah, because you didn't have nothing for that week.
No, I think I had 1 day.
Oh, because that was 4 days.
Yeah, that was 4 days week. I had 1 day. 1 week I was like, I went that first day, and then after that, no, because I'm not about to die.
And we still got offers of extensions.
So, yeah, like, so it really depends on the facility. I feel like this last facility was just petty.
Yeah.
Like, they was just mad. And they barely needed us anyways because they would cancel us. Yeah, we getting floated or they canceling us for 4 hours. 8 hours. No, like y'all didn't need travelers anyways. But, okay, I've been a nurse for 3 years.
I've been a nurse for 11 years. Oh my gosh, 13. 13 years. Oh, I didn't realize you was like 2 years up. I don't know why I thought we was the same. Oh, 9. Oh, okay.
So, for majority of y'all career though, it's been bedside, right? Y'all did some other stuff, but
yeah. Well, yeah, like home care. Yeah. I taught for like what, a couple months or something. Did like mental health. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My whole career up until this year was med-surg, bedside nursing. I gave home care a try for like what, a month? A month or 2. It wasn't horrible, but it was like, I don't feel like doing this. Like,
that's a lot of work. Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, and I just feel like certain stuff was like you kind of left on your own. Like, I mean, they said they're there to help you, yeah, but it was like super independent to the point, like, I don't know, just certain stuff with like certain orders or like you gotta, I don't know, certain stuff I'm like,
but I mean,
I don't know like, what the fuck you want me to do, kind of, like, I don't know, it was like,
I mean, with home care, I don't mind being independent and have the autonomy, not, you know, just not being with other people.
Yeah,
but I know with the paperwork, that was really,
that's what it was. Yeah, like it wouldn't even like I don't mind going to see them. Yeah, and then filling this, and then they want you to ask this question and this question, and you gotta have like this part filled out and XYZ certain stuff. I'm like, dog, I'd rather just like.
Management with home care is a lot.
Yeah, that's the part that wasn't managing
a lot of patients.
Yeah, like
got that phone on you, and it's.
Yeah, I was like, no, at this point, I'd rather just chart my assessment, and be done.
I mean, I did it for what, like 6 months.
Like,
it was
like
cool. 2 years. It was cool, but I noticed I was bringing a lot of paperwork home, like on the computer and stuff, and then that's when, you know, my daughter was an infant, so it was a lot for me. And I'm like, yeah, I can't juggle all this. I'll go back to the hospital.
Be home doing work. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was my thing too. Like once I clock out, I'm done. So it's like you go see him, then you in your car, like charting, certain stuff. I was like, and then they didn't want to be flexible. Like I was like, okay, maybe I could do it per diem. So so I was in California and I was on a strike assignment, and I wasn't about to leave California to go back and do home care. Like the difference in money and pay, opportunity, like no, it just didn't make sense. And they was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. So I'm like, okay, bye. So that was the end of home care. And then I got my per diem job that I still have, which I don't mind, but just full-time, 12 hours, bedside nursing, no.
It's exhausting.
And certain specialties probably maybe a little bit better, but still, like 12 hours for one is exhausting. And then when you're traveling, that's really what we was having, like 15-hour days. Yeah. You wake up at 5 to be on the road by 6 to get to work by 7 and work 7 to 7:30 ish or whenever you done with report. And then you drive another hour back home. By the time you get home, like you don't really have time to cook dinner, just take a break. It's like go home, shower, eat, pack your lunch, because you gotta get back up at 5 a.m.
I hate the
yeah, like no. And then we was doing that 4 days a week at one point. I think this was our first
3-day contract,
in like the past year.
Yep, because we was doing 48
so
hours.
yeah, we was fucking tired. Like no. So that's one thing. Then like when you're a traveler, you're getting pulled. I don't mind floating, but sometimes it's annoying. Like, and especially at our last contract, it would be, oh, you get pulled
4 hours.
Yeah, like come on,
and then come back to your
pull me for the full day. Or at least 8 hours. Like I would rather, okay, I work a 7 to 3, and then if you pull me the last 4 hours, it might not be as bad from like 3 to 7. But pulling me at 11 o'clock, no. Yeah, so you always getting pulled, and then they try to give you the worst assignments, shit that just don't make sense, or stuff that they don't want to do because they feel like you get paid more. Yeah, like just because I'm getting paid more, but like that don't mean you're not supposed to do your help dirty, like because then that's why you consistently need fucking help. Like I don't understand why they don't.
I mean, I'm not asking to have the easiest assignment, no, but just a fair assignment.
Make it fair.
Yeah, like,
if I come in every day seeing the same thing, I always have the most patience and like,
yeah, why do I got 5 and then your staff got 2?
Yeah,
or 3.
That makes sense.
Like no. And then you want to give admissions and just fucking, it was a lot. Then on top of that, and I was getting into it with patients, like it's just a list. Like the hours, the management, they do you dirty, and then like everybody, you supposed to know all the answers as a nurse. Like I remember when we was at the other assignment this winter, like as soon as you log into the computer, what did they eat for breakfast? How's this patient doing today? Did this patient poop last night? Yeah, like bro, I just clocked in. Like, oh, one of my biggest pet peeves is like when they be like, how's the patient doing?
Go ask them.
Exactly. Why can't you go see them? Like I have 5 other people, like I don't know how they're doing. Like, oh, that would get up my nerves. And then when it was COVID too, like, oh, the nurse is supposed to be the only one that's going in that room. Like nobody else is capable of taking them their tray, and
yeah, it was always on us.
It was just like a nightmare.
Something goes wrong, it's on the nurse.
Right, so you're not only responsible for their meds and assessment and all that, like you dietary, you housekeeping, your phlebotomy, because them hospitals up there don't have labs, so you gotta draw blood. Like it's just a lot of responsibility on one person. Like I feel like they be forgetting, like this is supposed to be like a team effort to take care of the patient, not just one person.
And they nitpick at little things. You be trying your damnness on your 12 hours and they come and pick at little things. Like remember
like
this they said about, remember it was some
like dude, I didn't even oh, that pissed me off. You be so, it's like from the moment you clock in, you such in like work mode or grind mode to get all these med stuff passed for these patients. Like, it's simple shit as like a sign on the door, and then they want to be petty with you. Like, bro, I have bigger fish to fry.
That sign haven't been up in 5 days.
Yeah, and then you get the backlash for it.
Or
Like,
that medication thing that happened, remember?
yeah, that patch.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah. Yeah, so this patient had a patch that was, I guess, like right here or something. But like, if the patient has on a gown, like, you're not automatically just checking like right under their armpit unless that's the area. You know what I'm saying? Where the main problem is.
The problem was that they
missed it on admission. Yeah,
it wasn't documented.
Yeah, so they were like, don't worry about it, because that was something that should have been caught on admission. Like, admission, you should do a full, you know, head to toe, like, skin assessment with 2 people. But yeah, it just be little shit. Or, oh, you didn't chart this. Like, bro, do you know what I gotta deal with? Like, so I don't want to like scare people, because I feel like a lot of people be coming to a nursing school like, oh my god, like, y'all making me scared. Like, not trying to make y'all scared, but it's just,
it's
the realistic
the school
world.
Nursing world is different than the real world.
Yeah, it's like,
especially now, because you know
you're
we
not prepared for it.
Yeah, like in school they don't tell you none of this stuff. They don't be like, oh, you know, be prepared to play 6 different roles, and like, I could just go on and on. Then you got patients that'll cuss you out about everything, like everything is your fault. Where's this pain med, or cussing you out about ice water or a blanket. Like, yeah, my food is disgusting. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I don't cook your meal. You in the hospital and I don't cook your food.
And I get the frustration. They're already there. They don't want to be there. They're kind of taking it out on anybody.
But it's just like nurses are the punching bag.
Yeah.
We the punching bag.
The doctors will come in there and they talk so calm and respectfully to them.
And as soon as they leave, no. And then, or they'll complain about all this stuff to you. And then when the doctor come in, they don't say nothing. Like, where's all the where's all the issues that you have? Yeah, like, I just have to follow the orders. I can't do nothing about it. So yeah, it gets very overwhelming with like being the punching bag, and it's I could go on.
I feel like it's
certain specialties
you can handle it for so long.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna be like you're gonna be
because that's why I'm like, how do we do
pot
this
of
for
boiling water?
Yeah. And it would be better if you had better ratios, and just there's a lot of like things I feel like that they need to put into play to make nursing better. Starting off, I would say with ratios.
Definitely ratios.
Mandated breaks too, because the only time you guaranteed your break is when you're working in Cali. Like they hounding you for your break. Otherwise, it's like you take your break when you can. Yeah, if you don't say nothing about taking a break, like
they don't care.
Nobody cares. They taking your phone and they just gonna deal with whatever is going on during that time. I feel like a lot of times you sacrifice like, dang, I need to hang this man and do XYZ before I go to break so I can be caught up.
That, like you try to be a good nurse, so like you watch somebody patient and they patient call out for pain meds. You give them the pain meds, but when you come back from lunch, your patient mad at you like, I called for pain meds 30 minutes ago. You go to the nurse, she like, oh, I was so busy. Like, it's just like, be a team player. Like, I look out for your patients when you at lunch. Look out for mine. Now my patient upset and I gotta deal with this backlash. It's just little stuff like, it's tiring. It's tiring.
Or something, or they just don't do absolutely nothing. Like, you couldn't at least do like this one thing for me. Like, if that's the case, I could have just kept my phone.
Yeah, just kept my
phone. What are you here if your patient call out?
It was actually one assignment where I did I said I'd rather keep my phone.
Yeah, like, I got it. Never mind.
that's how it is with a lot of stuff. It's like, I got it. Like, I can't depend on the text to even give the patients.
But it also depends on who you work with.
That's true. That's true.
If you got a good group of people that do teamwork and y'all look out for each other. But that's how I feel even now. Like, with where I work at now, working in PACU, we all look after each other. It's so different than working on the floor.
Yeah. in certain places too. Like I've seen, it hasn't happened to me personally, but I've read like in comments and stuff where people was like, they can't even like trust certain techs or even nurses because it's like they so petty because you're making more money than them. They're like people making up blood pressures and making up vitals, or you can have people that where you have vitals outside of
I was thinking of
the parameters of what they should be, and ain't nobody tells you.
Yeah, get taken off a BiPAP and the text charting 96% on wrong.
Yeah, or like by the way, about an hour ago your patient's blood pressure was like 170 over 101. Like what? Oh, just yeah. Certain departments, I feel like certain people have it a little bit better, but just doing med surge is a lot. Like, and I feel like people be trying to play med surge like, oh, it's not a specialty, but med surge is a beast of its own.
I mean,
yeah, like people be like,
surge, you have a little bit of everything unless you're specializing.
Yeah,
you know, you med surge, you know, ortho or neuro, then you know you specializing. But other than that, it's a little bit of everything in med surge.
You have a broad knowledge of like everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that cannot handle the jungle. They're like, oh, absolutely not. Or certain specialties will get special treatment. Like, remember when we was at one from that, like, yeah, like ICU, like, yeah, because you're ICU, you only can get 2 patients in med surge. Like, why? I get that they only work with 1 or 2, but literally that's where the patient goes, they're the most critical. So if we starting like it goes med surge, then they're like step down progressive care, then ICU. So if you can handle ICU, I don't understand why you can't handle med surge. Granted, it's a few more patients, but if this patient is crashing, they coming to you. So
yeah, I mean, some like when I worked ICU, you know, I came from med surge going to ICU. So when I got floated out of ICU to med surge, to me it wasn't a big deal. Like, yeah, I only have 2 patients, but I'm so used to having 4 or 5 patients, so this ain't nothing to me.
Yeah.
But they changed that, like where I'm at now, they changed that. If you float, they tell you up front, like if you float from ICU, or yeah, if you in ICU, there you may float to med surge, and you will have, you know, 4 patients.
Yeah, like it's just a lot. So I'm at the point in my career where I don't want to work full time for nobody else, and high key definitely over 12 hours. Yeah, it's only like a certain occasion
criteria.
Yeah, criteria.
The criteria's got to be met.
Yeah, for me to go back in that hospital and do it. Like, and I can only deal with it for a short amount of time. Like, I was to the point where it's like, yeah, if the contract is like not 4 weeks or less, then count me out. And we even had that 4-week contract, but that hospital was terrible.
Different. Y'all know I almost didn't even last after the 2 weeks. I'm halfway through and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna come back.
That's like what, one of the worst hospitals in America.
Right.
Like if you go in a travel nurse group and they discussing some of the worst hospitals, that hospital is always mentioned. Like,
you would never give me the step back for that hospital. You gotta be paying me like a lot of money, a lot, and I still have to think about it.
Yeah, like,
rough.
Yeah, cause and then they had the nerve, like they should have been paying way more than what they was paying for what you was dealing with. Like,
I put it to Sandra.
Yeah, and ain't no. You really don't get orientation.
You just gotta
what's the most orientation I feel like I done got? 1, 2 days.
2 days.
There, it was like.
It wasn't.
Yeah, like, because so we were supposed to get
4 hours.
Yeah, we're supposed to get 4 hours on both sides of the hospital. The one hospital, I wouldn't even say it was orientation because we was in a float pool for one, so it's kind of hard to orient. But yeah, I kind of was just like seeing how the unit was. But it was like, even if she teaching me about these things, I don't know if I'm gonna come back here or not. And then the other side of the hospital, nobody addressed us. We literally just sat there, like,
and y'all was night shift.
Yeah, but that day was days. Like, we just took it upon ourselves to like call numbers and make sure our login and stuff worked. But like, they They did not care. Like, they could have cared less. Nobody wanted to say, oh, here's a break room, here's our codes. Yeah, and that's really what you gotta do, because once you start traveling, you already should have your basic, you know, foundation of how to be a nurse and do different things. I just need to know your codes, what system, like what system y'all use, a patient doctor,
unit run,
yeah, just to see the workflow. But other than that,
yeah, like I don't need you to teach me how to, you know, pass meds and stuff like that.
And that's what they want to do, like pass meds. I'll go in a room and I'll watch you do an assessment. I know how to do this,
right?
I got that. Like
it's like it go either way, but they both be like either nobody address you at all and show you anything, or it's too micromanaging. Like they too on your ass, where it's like, girl, like please back up for real. Like I know how to do this. So yeah, it's just a lot that goes into bedside nursing that is very overwhelming. It's just a lot of responsibility that's on the nurse that shouldn't be. Like I get we are responsible for some things, but nobody else takes accountability. And then a lot of the patients, I don't want to say a lot, but you definitely be having like that percentage or handful like of people that's like ungrateful, disrespectful, like.
But that's what makes it hard too.
Yeah, like I'm literally trying my best here, and they just
haven't went to the bathroom trying to get
yes in the past 8 hours. I haven't had lunch, you know. I barely water. Barely had a sip of water. You just running on fumes. You
ate 3 meals and
like trying to keep up with the demand of your assignment.
Yeah, and they just think like they got one-on-one care. And I'm sorry, it don't work. It don't work like that.
In
like
a perfect, more than perfect world to have.
It's not one-on-one care. Like I got you, and I got another person that has 20 meds and 3 different IV meds that need to be running at the same time, and then you know transfer calling you for your other patient to take them down to this test and want to know XYZ for this, and then this patient, and oh, you got a new admission coming up. That's another thing I didn't like too with certain hospitals. Like you can get a new no report. They're not calling reports, so you have no clue about this patient unless you mysteriously got time to look them up, and then nobody let you know when they drop them off either.
At that
when I just worked,
that happened a lot to me. I'm
my god,
y'all want to go tell me my patient was here?
Yeah, I'm like, nobody called. They're supposed to, but nobody does what they're supposed to
do.
Like I remember they had told me I was getting a direct admit, which means like the patient is coming from like the doctor's office or something. They just come right up to the floor, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, they should call you from the office, give you a report. Like 2 hours went by, I'm still busy, like, you know, doing stuff, and I just so happened to go by the room and there's a patient in there, and I'm like, how long have you been here? Like 45 something minutes. Like, bro, like he could have been there for a while. Like if I was busy. And then that's another thing too, sometimes all your rooms is not even close by each other, so I can have a patient way over here, and 3 over here. So if I'm steady working with these 3, I don't have time to be over there to check in. So it's just a freaking lot. So we have changed our lives now.
Yes.
Now we are all school nurses.
Well, we have multiple.
Yeah, we got multiple roles. We do like multiple per diem jobs. So I have an OBGYN clinic job. I have a school nurse substitute job, which we all got. And then what else? You got PACU.
I got PACU, school nurse, and a mental health nurse.
And I got school nurse, wound clinic, and substitute teaching.
Yep. And you have your own business.
Yes.
Right. Hopefully, if I'm gonna try my best to edit and upload this. But yes, I have started my own scrub line, so I will put the link to my website below in the bio, and it will be launching October 21st. So I'll put like all the links, so guys go. It's too long. Yeah, I feel like it was like 20 some minutes. So I don't know where it cut off at, but yes, I have decided to launch my own scrub line. So I'll be carrying scrubs, fanny packs, compression socks, and I'm gonna like I plan on keep adding to that. That launches October 21st, which will be this Friday. So I'll put the link down, and I'm gonna see if I can edit it right to like edit the pictures and behind the scene videos. So I'm really excited about that. They're really cute. So support your girl, black owned business. Yeah. Yeah, so like right now we just thugging. We're just winging it with our nursing career. Like, we don't even care. It came to a point where it wasn't even about the money anymore for us. We chose our mental peace and our mental sanity over money. Like, it was coming to the point where we literally was dreading going to work.
Can't sleep at
like
night.
What's today? Sunday. We could have to work Tuesday right now. We'd be like, oh my god. We'd be like, oh my god, like I don't feel like going to work. Like, and it
shouldn't be like
yeah, like it would be on our mind for days. Like, no, when work gets to that point, or we could wake up and it'd be like 5 o'clock or 4:30 and be like, yep, not going.
I can't do it.
Mentally just cannot do it.
Or you can be there.
Yeah. Or yeah, you can be like Cassandra, where she had her last fucking straw.
Right. That was me at that first one too.
And that kind of
at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that kind of I kind of still wonder if that's why. And they just said like fuck all three of them,
because it literally happened like. Well, was it?
Oh, he got his jersey on. I love that dog.
That will happen the next day because you got the first phone call.
Yeah,
we just knew it was because of that. Like, oh,
yeah. So yeah, we gotta tell them this story time of how we got fired. So this is how we got fired, y'all. I'm week 222. Oh, that's like this one special angel number. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But okay, so me and Cassandra had work, and we carpool. I drove that day. They had Cassandra fucked up with her assignment. Like, first, before they even tried to switch you with that lady, wasn't your assignment already just like a mess, and she wasn't feeling good already? So then one nurse decided that she didn't want this patient, and so they just took it upon themselves to give it to Cassandra. Like, didn't even ask, didn't even see if the patient was fit.
She can't handle it, so you're gonna handle it. So handle it. Like,
didn't even see if this patient like acuity was safe, like, you know what I'm saying, because this patient was high acuity. So she said, I'm sick.
I really was.
Yeah, no, she was sick, but she was like, no, I can't, I'm not about to deal with this, as she fucking shouldn't have. So she went home. So I finished out the day. My day wasn't bad. So then, was it the next day, you got a phone call that basically said they terminated. So then us two, you didn't have to come back till the next week, and I think I probably still had like 2 more weeks left. So I'm like, shit, they could call me too. I'm over it. Like, I'm literally over it.
And I'm sitting here like, damn, be the only one to
yeah, I'm like, dang, yeah, I gotta drive by myself the next 2 weeks. I'm like, dang. So then I think I actually reached out to our recruiter and myself, because I had asked her some other question. But once she said those exact words that she said to Cassandra, like, do you have a minute to what she say, discuss your contract? I was like, yes, I'm about to get fired. Like, I was excited. We was excited to get fired, bro, because we were just tired. So boom, they terminated my contract. And then basically you was the only one left.
Yeah, at this point I'm like, well, I haven't heard anything, so you know, and I'm like, I ain't trying to wait all day. Like, I just need to know. So I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, what's going on with my contract? And she's like, what you mean? And I said, well, you know, my other 2 friends that's on the contract with me, you know, they've been terminated. And then that's when she ain't say nothing. And then she called me and I'm like, oh shit. So she just pretty much explained to me, you know, that I had a doctor's note. I wasn't supposed to come back until that following week.
You probably had like 4 days, right?
Yeah, well, 3 that weekend, because that would have been my weekend of work. So yeah, I had 4 days. And she was like, yeah, they just pretty much said that, you know, you had a doctor's note, but with no point in you coming back to work, you know, for your 4 last days. So they were like, yeah, you don't have to come back. I'm like, all right.
And we was not mad. We have been happier, in a better mood, just like living free, like, since then.
Making your own schedule.
Right. God just ended it sooner for us. Like, he already knew we was over. We already was debating, like, can we even finish the last 2 weeks for real?
And you know, it's a lot because I'm in school too to be a nurse practitioner, psych mental health nurse practitioner. So, you know, already I'm on the fence, but you know, I was gonna finish it. But
yeah, so yeah, just there's a lot of things just to be prepared for going in bedside nursing, also depending on the specialty. But it's, I don't want to say it's not doable, but I don't know, it just can be a lot. But hopefully things are starting to change, because I feel like a lot of, like, I seen on TikTok too, like a lot of the newer nurses, they, like, you're not about to play with them. You guys, they're not about to, like, tolerate a lot of the stuff that older nurses.
It's different from when we had started.
I know, they standing up for, you know, fair treatment, fair wages, all of that, as they should. So,
because I feel like when I started, I was definitely like timid and taking shit that I shouldn't.
Yeah, because you feel like as a new grad, you have to pretty much, you can't say nothing. Yeah. But that burnt out. I feel like my first 2 years, I was definitely burnt out. I was on night shift. I was working med surg, because I remember being online and trying to apply for different internal positions. Because that's when I applied for like L&D and PACU and stuff. But you know, I didn't have that much experience. But yeah, I definitely had burnt out early.
Yeah, I think probably for real, already going into nursing, I was into bedside nursing, I was already burnt out, because I was an aide for like 4 years in med surg before I became a nurse. So I kind of already was over it. Yeah, like, you do have, you know, different roles and different things. Obviously there's more stuff that you can do as the nurse that is different than from being an aide, but just kind of the environment still is the same. And I always had wanted to do labor and delivery, so I already was like, I don't want to really be here, but I'm gonna just learn my skills and stuff. And I was on night shift and my hospital always like needed help, so you were always on call. Hate being on call.
Horrible.
Getting called in at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember one time I thought that they wasn't gonna call me, and I thought I was cool. Jason had cooked, like I was just about to just spend the night with my man, and I looked at my phone. Oh my god, I wanted to cry.
That feeling, yeah.
That was the first time I wanted to cry. Yeah, nights makes it even worse. Like, some people can do nights, like, power to you. And night shift do have certain perks, but after switching to day shift, like, I can't do it.
Being on call on days isn't as bad, because you get to kind of like sleep in and stuff, but on nights you trying to not go to sleep.
Yeah, like, I value my sleep. Like, it's just, no, I know you don't got to deal with, like, you know, administrators and managers and all that stuff, but no. But yeah, like, so it started getting bad where I'm like, I'm already up all night, I'm away from family. On my days off, I'm sleeping all day. It just was like a list of things. So yeah, I was over it. So that's when I started traveling, because I'm like, I can make more money during this pandemic than Trump change. Like, they weren't even like compensated, or at least my hospital wasn't compensating staff nurses.
They weren't.
So I'm like, why am I gonna stay here and work for pennies? Like, if I gotta go through the same BS and deal with the same stuff, I'm gonna make more money, and I'm gonna have a flexible schedule where I can choose when I do and don't want to work. Like, it's just way more benefits that come with traveling. So
yeah, I think that was around the time me and you had got cool.
Yep. And I had got a call. Remember, I had got a call for an interview in labor delivery, my fucking dream job.
Oh yeah, you did.
Before I started traveling, and at that point I was like, I'm going to the money. Like, labor and delivery would be there. And right now I'm like, there's so many labor and delivery jobs, and I'm just like, going back to the hospital. No, I'll stick with the clinic for now.
You got the clinic and your business. So.
Yeah, the clinic and my business, and eventually, who knows where.
Nurse.
Yeah, school nurse. Hopefully aesthetic nursing. We'll see where life takes us. That's the benefit about nursing, though, is like we can do so much. Like, we don't have to absolutely quit like being a nurse. If you don't like this field, switch to something else. Like, my cousin, when did she graduate? This year. She probably didn't even been a nurse. Well, she was an LPN, but she had been an RN for like 6 months, but that environment, like,
And she done with that?
she quit. She tried something else. So don't feel like, oh, I gotta stay a year, or I gotta thug this out. Like, no, if you can't do it and don't want to do it, you can go find something else to do. Because people, I feel like some people will like try to make you think you gotta start off in med surg if you want to go into a different specialty. That's not true. It be people right off the bat getting into the position that they always wanted to be in. So that's not true either. There's a lot of stuff that I wish I would have knew.
If I can go back, I don't think I would have started in med surg. I think I would have started in ICU. At that time, I didn't have an interest in ICU, but looking back, I'm like, I should have just started there.
Yeah.
I always wanted maternity, like labor and delivery, but like when I came in, like I couldn't even get into the freaking hospital.
Yeah, me too.
Like I put in I put in apps everywhere.
Yeah, it was hard.
Get into the hospital.
You know how easy it is now
to get into the hospital?
It is so easy right now, but back then,
I never even knew that.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah.
What's being said?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But
dang, that's crazy. I didn't know about that.
Yep, I was in skilled nurse a rehab, like a SNF, for a year, and then I just, since I was in that same company, I just transferred right over to the hospital. But it was hard back.
Yeah, it was
in 2011.
Damn, I never even thought about that. Yeah, now the hospital is like, now at this point in nursing, I think a lot of stuff you can just be able to get right in because they need so much help. But they need to put some respect on our name. Like, nowhere can run without nurses, yet we the most underpaid, understaffed. Like, that's another thing too, like they make you feel guilty. I was just at work and this girl told me, and this was at my like office job, she said that they told her that she was abusing her ETO. How are you gonna tell me I'm abusing my earned time off that I had to work countless of days and hours, and you telling me I'm using it too much? Like, no.
That doesn't make sense.
That's another reason why I'm working for myself. Like, I don't want to answer to nobody. If I need to take a day off, a week off, a month off, like,
you can.
Yeah, like,
I'm letting you know I'm not asking.
Yeah, like, no.
Which is one of the reasons why I work per diem. You know, I make my own schedule. So.
Yeah, it was just something that was bothering me, just as even when I was an aide. Like, I hate having to go to work when somebody tell me to. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, technically you didn't have to, but like somebody is making this schedule. If you want to make money, it's like, I gotta, you know, go in and work this. But like, no, I want to be able to be like, okay, I'll come in today. Like, I'll work today. Or if people that got like families and family vacations and shit, I remember seeing somewhere somebody was like, their job basically had said something to them like, did you on vacation last year? Like, what? Like, you can't even, you don't even have time to be yourself. It's just like you just put to be a robot to fucking work until you die or something happen, or as soon as they fire you or with no good reason
for calling on.
You just replace that easy. Like, no. So like, put yourself first, like, over any job.
I knew I was over nursing. Like, I'm like, these people, they don't care about your well-being, your mental health. Like, when my brother died, I called him like, I'm not gonna be in work for a few days. Do you know they told me, no, you are gonna have to call in each day. Like, you can't just say you're not gonna be off. Like, you gotta let us know. Like, each, like they,
like, why? I'm letting you know right now.
They made it so hard, and I looked how, like, because my mom and sister, like, how they handled their job and how their job just handled them with care. Like that, like, I knew back then I was over nursing, and since then I'm like, I'm doing this for my money, and I'm in and out. Like, I'm not overexerting myself. You know, like, I always take care of my patients, but you know, I'm not going above and beyond for them. Like,
yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, these companies,
they do not care about you. Like,
how are we expected to take care of sick people and help them get better when
we sick and like,
we're not even together? Like, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of you first, literally, before you can do anything. Work, mom, wife, girlfriend, sister, brother, cousin. Like, if you're not together, then you can't give your best self to nobody.
It helps when you do have a good manager, though. That, you know,
but
management.
So yes, and then after the 3 days, they like, okay, you're gonna need a doctor note. my doctor was like, are they really making me sign it? Like, it was so,
that's crazy.
I resented it. But then when I went and my manager was like, oh, they should have discussed that with me, but you should have known us, like, you know.
Yeah, right, you knew the situation.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like, how come it can't be like, okay, you know, like, I'm sorry for your loss, you take the time off that you need. Yeah, like,
it's like after 2 days, can you come back? No.
Yeah, 2 bereavement days, get out
right,
of here.
because then at that point they don't care about your mental health.
Nope.
I am not coming in to take care of patients with 2 bereavement days.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a lot, and it really be a lot on the companies, like y'all see all the time, or Google the CEOs making millions, and you don't even get a fucking bonus. You get a pizza party.
Yeah. And then, and like you said, it does depend on the manager. Because when my dog died, I got flowers, and this is new manager. Yeah, like she sent me flowers, and just like, so like, you gotta go where you feel
appreciated and welcome. Yeah. So all facilities and all places and stuff, they aren't horrible, but there's a lot of places where it's just like,
yeah, just like I done told y'all countless times about, you know, how good of a manager I have.
Yeah. So when you find a good management, it's rare.
Yeah.
Like, you calling off sick and the first question out of her mouth is not, oh, when can you come back? No, the first question is like, is she okay? You know, do you need anything? Call me if you need anything. I'll come drop off.
Like, are you think you'll be able to come in tomorrow? Like, what? So it's just a lot. So we are changing our lives. So that's why when you're not happy, leave. Yeah. Anywhere, any job, any
and
situation.
Don't feel bad.
Yep. You're absolutely free to make those changes. Don't let nobody guilt trip you.
Like, you're not doing nothing to be like, you know, get your license at risk. Like, because all the jobs we could go back to. It's just, it's not like we did, you know. I don't know.
It's like, I'm not happy. I don't be happy or look forward to even do any other things. So yeah, guys, I think that was a good rant. a good truth inside in life, because a lot of people was like wondering what was my next move and my next plans since I decided to walk away from bedside nursing. So yeah, outpatient clinic and my own business full time. And there's more to, so if you're in nursing school and you're watching this, still go to nursing school, finish through, because there's more than just a hospital. You can work at home, like we said, clinics, surgeries, aesthetics, like is just, there's countless opportunities out there.
Know what's best for you.
Yeah, right. And you'll figure it out.
You will, yeah,
you'll figure it out. So if you're doing something you're like, I don't really like this,
and then like
go try something else.
I think like back then, like even when I started, you were always told give it a year, like stuff like that. No, if you give it
a motherfucking week, if it's a week or 2 weeks, you're like,
nope.
You do know.
Yeah.
So if it's not working for you, leave.
Yeah.
And it'll be okay.
Well, thanks for coming to our ex-bedside nurses TED Talk. You probably don't have to. We'll make more videos and keep you guys updated on our new journeys. Cause what it's been, like a month, maybe, since our contract ended.
Not quite a whole month, but
oh damn, it never been a month. Yeah, cause I guess technically we were supposed to be done last week. Yeah,
last weekend.
Yep,
or Friday.
So today's the 16th, the 7th is when we're supposed to be done. So like, yeah, like a week, 8-9 days, something like that. So yeah, comment down below, leave us questions, etc., and we can do more videos and touch on more subjects and stuff like that. And make sure you go subscribe to my channel and my website and buy something from me Friday. Okay, bye.
Bye. Oops.